This is part 2 about the DuPont family. Police are searching the outside of the home for any evidence or any sign of where the DuPonts have gone. Right now, they're just hitting dead ends. They don't know where else to look. They're finding nothing until one of the police officers are standing in the backyard, and he notices under the back porch that there's some fresh cement laid down. And when you're in this field, there are certain things you know to look for. He's like, dig it up right now. They then call an excavation team out to dig up this cement. And when they dig up the cement, they find 4 large black bin bags that are wrapped in tape. When they cut the tape off and open these bin bags, they find 4 human bodies. Agnes and 3 of her 4 children. But where's her oldest? Arthur. They also find 2 set of dog bones, the 2 Labradors. They look further through the backyard. They finally find her 4th child. He was buried a few feet away from them. They now look for the last remaining family member, Xavier DuPont, the dad. They dig up all over the backyard and they just can't find him. Agnes, her 4 children, and both of their dogs had all been shot in the head with 2 bullets from a .22 rifle. With her oldest son, Thomas, being buried further away from them, this led investigators to believe that he was killed sometime after his mother and 3 of his siblings were, because there was still room in the grave for him to go, but he wasn't put there. Buried with each body was a religious item, a symbol of an emotional connection between the perpetrator and the victims. Where's Xavier? He's not buried anywhere on the property, which immediately makes him the prime suspect in his family's murder. But according to Xavier's family and friends, there is no way that he has anything to do with this. According to them, family is extremely important to Xavier. He was never known to be violent and never had been involved in any type of criminal act. Is he dead too and buried somewhere else? A warrant is immediately put out for Xavier DuPont. France immediately dubs this home the House of Terror. But wait until you hear this. According to friends and family, this is a huge cover-up, and that the bodies in the backyard were not the DuPonts, and they faked their death to protect themselves. They suggest that they did this and fled the country. Maybe Xavier is an undercover spy. He got himself into some trouble, and that his family is now at risk. Or has he simply killed his family and buried them in their backyard? Keep listening. Xavier's mother and sister says that he has extremely bad back problems, and that it would have been extremely hard for him to dig up under the back porch as low as it was and how deep they were buried, and that it would have caused him immense back pain. It's time for the autopsy. All 4 children, except for Agnes, had sleeping pills in their system, a sign of premeditation and thorough planning. The same gun that was used to kill the DuPonts was also a family heirloom of Xavier's that was handed down to him from his grandfather. His grandfather gave it to his father, then his father gave it to him. Given the fact that each family member was shot twice in the head, there would be blood, and a lot of it. There's not 1 ounce of blood found in the home. Not 1. Not even in the backyard where the family was buried. They also didn't find any fingerprints or other DNA on the outside of the bin bags that the family members were found in. At this time, investigators can't find any evidence that shows that Xavier DuPont is responsible for his family's murder. Whoever has done this is extremely skilled and planned it for quite some time. But this investigation has just started. They're still hitting dead end after dead end. Where's Xavier? And who's done this? Is he dead too? All they can do is look deeper into the family's past to see if they can uncover anything. See if they were hiding any secrets. According to everyone who knew Xavier DuPont, he was a very successful businessman with a lot of money. But Xavier wasn't as successful as he led on to be. In the early 2000s, the DuPonts had actually relocated to Florida in the United States so that Xavier could live out his businessman dream. But it did not work out as well as he had hoped. This forced the DuPonts to move back to Nantes, France with little to no money. But Xavier did not tell his family they were broke. They were struggling, but no one knew. As time went on, Xavier's financial stability spiraled downward. But he told his family and friends that he owned several other businesses that were bringing in income. That was far from the truth. It was actually so bad that Xavier was about to lose everything he owned, including his home. He did not tell his wife and 4 children this. When they dive more into Xavier's background, they find out that a little bit before the DuPont's murder, Xavier's father had went bankrupt shortly before he passed away. And when his father passed away, he likely did not want to follow in his father's footsteps. Around the same time, he was given the task to empty out his father's home. And around the same time, he started practice shooting at a gun range with the .22 rifle. He had never showed interest in shooting before, until a little bit before his family's murders. While he's at this gun range, he asked the instructor creepy fucking questions, even ones that gave me chills. Go to part 3.